Good morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning Coffee. My name is Lance Mckinnon, and I am here with my awesome co-host, Tiffany Linderman. Good morning, Tiffany.
Hey, Lance, how you doing?
I am living the dream, enjoying my Fifth Acres coffee from Good Brothers Cafe in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and just loving it. I'm also loving the fact that second location is coming up, and now you can get Fifth Acres in a K cups as well too. So now I don't have to drink a whole pot of it on a Saturday morning. I can do it individual ones because you know what happens when I drink a whole pot of uh, Fifth Acres coffee. So now Stefan is doing amazing. So we got K cups now.
That's
Wonderful.
awesome. And if I can just add, just for everyone, I don't know if I've told you this, Lance, but I love coffee so much and then love his coffee so much. I literally have a Keurig machine next to my bed that I don't even have to get out of bed before I have my first cup of coffee.
Oh
I
my
need it to
goodness.
get out of bed. I just pop that little K cup in there and I'm good. So I'm super excited about that.
Well, I think we know a place to get some K cups so you could just stay in bed and have coffee. That's a whole new meaning to
Amazing.
it, but it's like bring my kitchen to me. Probably have a little
Exactly.
refrigerator up there too.
I do.
Unbelievable. Wow, thank you for sharing that with the world. But you and I can just go back and forth. But now that we know that you have a Keurig next to your bed, um, do we have anybody else here? Because I'm still laughing at that.
Oh,
I'm sure somebody else has that. But that's a great idea.
our
Uh,
guest can give us some insight or feedback on that one. I would love to hear her thoughts, but I'm really excited. We have Lisa Macdonald, who is an abstract motivational artist who is doing great things, and we're just excited to hear all about it today. Good
Good
morning.
morning, Lisa. How are you?
Good morning. Doing fantastic. I love hearing this coffee by the bed.
Don't people do that at the? And I thought that was normal.
I never heard of it.
Sure, in your house, but you know what? Maybe you just started a whole new trend. I mean, I'm a little old fashioned, so I'm gonna do maybe like a little TikTok thing, something like that. I don't know. Do you see me doing that with some song? Get
Oh,
my
I love
coffee.
it. That's a
I
great
get
idea.
my coffee. Get up in the morning. Start my day. But thank you for being on, Lisa. What a phenomenal thing that you're doing. You're doing so much. Your story is so um, out there. I mean, we go from talking about race, we talk about bullying, what you're doing with the youth. We're talking about how you're changing the world, perfectly imperfect. Your art gallery. I mean, you're a woman of many facets, and it's just a pleasure and honor to have you on our show. I'm not going to steal your thunder, but one thing I can say is I'm going to have to get hooked up with some painting lessons because I cannot draw a stick figure with a ruler. That's a disclaimer. I'm done. You know what? My biggest feat was making the turkey with my hand. Um, between that, I am no good in art.
Yes.
I love your shirt. I'm assuming that's inspired by your designs.
Yes. So as you can see here, I have a little bit of you're at my art room. So this is like where I do the creativity. So here is a little bit, I'm sorry, just don't mind the mess. I have a little bit of crazy imperfect mess there, but this is a very popular painting that I first created, the nationality hands, that's what I call it. And then on this side here, it's called the Imperfections Beautiful World. It's my dream, just keep making an impact one by one, and the whole world, not just the community, but the whole world. So that's just a good reminder just to keep telling myself that I can make a difference in the world. So, and I have a t-shirt with the nationality hands. So
That's awesome. And
yeah.
the universe is our playground. That's what we say on Saturday morning coffee. The universe is our playground, and we can do whatever you want. But your story is magnificent. I'm not gonna steal your thunder. Nobody can tell the story like you tell it, and we're so excited that you're here today, and you can share it with the world. And I'm just gonna let you go and uh, sit here and think about how getting the Keurig next to my bed.
Oh,
Oh, so just go ahead and dive in.
all right. All right. So everyone, my name is Lisa. I'm just gonna start at elementary. In elementary school, I had a hard time speaking proper English, and a lot of kids made fun of me. And I always remember this. You know, you just laugh it out. It's the past, you're right. But I remember a kid came up to me and says, "If you can't speak proper English, then go back to your country." And I was just like, "Wait, I am from this country, so what's going on?" So when they say proper English, I actually spoke Spanglish growing up. My mother came from Dominican Republic in the United States, and when she was 19, and I have a father who spoke English, so he's from PA. So growing up, I had difficulty speaking proper and speaking English. I spoke Spanglish. So during the whole time in elementary school, I just act like a class clown. Just act like, oh, I can't speak, and just make everybody laugh. I love seeing people laugh. So, but when I come home, I'm just in tears and I cry. So I try not to show my pain, but it's just there. And then from that point on, I struggle being friends with girls. Girls who bully me. They push me to the ground. They push me into the bushes, pull my hair, you know, the cat fight. And I got thrown around and pretty much bullied me. I remember my senior year, girls that I used to be friends with bullied me and call me mean names, really, really harsh names. I don't want to say it here, in front of the whole class in my English class. And I cried when class was over. And the teacher says, "Oh, honey, they're just jealous because you're so beautiful." But the thing is that I've never judged them. I never judged their size. They were a bit, you know, they were a bit bigger than me, but I've always seen them as a beautiful, independent woman. But they treated me wrong because of their past, of what they were going through. And they just didn't take my kindness seriously. So I got really bad bullied. They actually trashed my car my second time when I was a senior. So second time I was parked there in the senior lot. That's when I met. And I was confused. I was like, why are they doing this to me? Why are they bullying me out of the blue? Just out of the blue. They just hated me. They just bashed on me and called me mean names. And I suffered so much of confusion and not knowing who I really am as a person. And I just felt like, well, what's the point? Like, I'm being bashed for no reason, and my kindness just don't seem to be enough. So during that time when I got bullied very harshly, I painted my feelings out. So I wanted to share you a painting that I've done. I don't know if you can see because of the glare, but it says, "To be kind and to care hurts so much." And it's just a girl crying in tears because this is how I felt when I got bullied from those girls. And it's since I lived here in the development where I live, a lot of girls pushed me around, hated me, and it was just nothing but hatred. And I think it's because of my lifestyle and because I was thin. I've actually been underweight my half of my life. Now I'm normal weight, but I struggle gaining weight. And a lot of them just, I don't know, they just hated me, but they didn't know my struggle. They only knew their struggle and they just push it on me. So not only I got bullied by girls, but I got discriminated. Since I'm half Dominican, I don't have the skin tone, I don't have the eyes, I don't have the hair. I got discriminated when I was in LCTI. LCTI is a tech school, and you can go there you can go there when you're in high school. And not only you're dealing with your own school district, but you're dealing with a lot of other school districts. And I've had really bad experience with girls from the Allentown School District. two of these girls came up to me and they just said, you know, stop trying to be a ghetto white girl who's trying to be Dominican. You're a wannabe Dominican woman. You ain't no Dominican. You're too white to be one. Stop with the whole tight braids. Stop with the whole Dominican outfit and Dominican earrings. You ain't Dominican. So get out of here. Stop acting like you're from the hood. Stop acting like you're from the ghetto, because you don't know how it is like to be in the ghetto in the hood or something like that. I have an accent, and sometimes when I'm excited and sometimes when I'm like really pumped or something, my accent comes out. And a lot of people come to me and they say, "Are you from New York?" And I'm like, "No." And then some people come to me and they say, "Why are you trying to act like you're ghetto?" And I'm like, "Ghetto? No, I'm not, no, I'm not trying to be like that." I just felt so lost with myself being in school, and I just felt like I wanted to stop being in school. And I was really just like I cried every day coming home. And it was just frustrating. And not only in school, I got discriminated twice in different jobs. The first one was at a retirement home. I was a waitress, and my boss came up to me, and I've been working there for a year at that time. Came up to me, he goes, "Hey, you, yeah, you're Hispanic. You know how to clean. Go mop this floor. You know how to clean pretty good." And I looked at him. I'm like, "First of all, you don't even know how to you don't even know my name. That's rude for you to say and pointing at me, hey, you." And then second of all, you don't just go based on my heritage and based on, I'm half Hispanic. You don't like what? And I just lost it there. I was like, oh my gosh. So I quit. And then I got another job at a yogurt cafe. And this yogurt cafe is in like a town in Allentown. And that's where a lot of Hispanics, the Hispanic community comes. And I just love to just speak as much Spanish as I can. I'm not as fluent, but I'm working on to become more fluent in my Spanish. A lady came in, customer, and she had broken English. And I was like, "Listen, I know how it's like when you can't speak proper language or whatever language. I know how it's like." So I came up to her. I'm like, "Hey, don't worry. Speak Spanish to me. Do you need any help?" All in Spanish. And she came up to me and she looked at me like, "How do you know Spanish?" And I said, "Oh, I'm half Dominican, so I can speak a little Spanish. I can help you. I can help assist you." Right away, she looked at my chest and she looked at my butt and she laughed at me. And I was like, just because I don't have that body image of a Dominican woman doesn't mean like I'm not Dominican, like I'm not half Dominican. Like, this is the problem in the world, is that we put people in categories and we don't see that there's white people in every country. I mean, there's maybe a few here, a few there, but we're all different skin tone. We're all mixed, especially in America. So don't be putting each other in categories and having only a one-way vision. You have to expand your mind. You have to open your mindset and really learn from others. And that's the issue. And not only I struggle with the whole bullying with girls, the whole discrimination, I struggle with my disability. I have a learning disability. I don't like saying disability because if you break it up, disability, meaning that you don't have the ability to do anything, I don't like that. I just say that I have a challenge in learning. Everybody has a challenge in learning, I'm sure, in certain things like math, writing, reading. I've struggled a lot with comprehension. I struggle a lot with writing, my grammar. I always hear that all the time. It's like a nightmare my whole life, especially in college. Grammar. But I didn't give up. I still kept going. I learned to work with my challenge in learning and not fight it. Because if you fight it, you're never going to win. So working with it, work it by side, you become more friends with that instead of an enemy. So I just learned to work with what I have and not be defeated. And in school, I was never taught why I had to go to speech therapy, why I had to go to ESL, English as a second language. And they never told me why I have a disability, a learning disability. I never knew. I was confused my whole time when I was in school. I had such a terrible identity crisis that I didn't know where I fit in. So when I say fit in, I'm saying that my dad's side of family is white. They're German Dutch in a way. I look like them, but I don't think like them. My mom's side of family, they're dark hair. They're not as dark for skin, but they're like tan and brown eyes. I think like them, but I don't look like them. So everywhere I go, I stick out like a sore thumb. I never fit in. And you know what? I told myself, I'm tired of fitting in. I'm tired of trying to blend in and try to have people feel, accept me. I'm just going to be me. And if they like me, they can be with me. If they don't, they can just get out, because I'm not wasting my time and energy just to be like someone else. That's not my life. I want to live my life the way I want to live my life. We have this one life. Why waste it to be like someone else?
Yeah, exactly. And, and you brought up a really interesting point, a lot of great interesting, points that we can go from. But one, we can't condone bullying. Things have changed since when I was younger. Now that I look at it, things that we did were considered bullying. Bullying is on a whole different level. We have social media now and stuff like that. But what toll did it take on your mental health?
What toll?
Well, yeah, what toll did it take on you, the bullying? What struggles did it cause you? Anxiety?
Oh, it caused me a lot of like flashbacks at night. I couldn't sleep. Actually, when I graduated from high school, I couldn't sleep. I've been having anxiety and panic attacks. I went to my doctor and asked him, can you please give me something so I could just fall asleep? He gave me Lexapro, made me depressed, made me thought of suicide. Like I wanted to not exist anymore in this world. And during the time I was in that situation, I was actually in community college. And I told my counselor that. Now the counselor was a lifesaver. I'm always so grateful for that counselor, of being in that college and being just having that support there. He right away thought I was in class, and he went to my class and he was looking for me. And he's like, where are you? Where are you? I said, I'm at home. I don't want to be in class. And he says, here, let's make an appointment. Let's talk about this. I told my doctor, I'm out. I'm done with this medication because I'm not thinking suicide thoughts. I'm not. This is not happening. Like, this is not me. This is like a monster that's inside me, and I'm not taking medication. What really helped me is speaking about it and also working on my paintings. I first work on my paintings and then I speak about it to him, because sometimes the words just don't come out very well. So I have to work on a painting so the painting can help me find the words that I'm searching for from within.
Just to go back for a second, I love hearing a little bit about how you found your way to cope through the situation, which I think is going to be a lot more of the conversation we're going to talk about today as well. But I was definitely amazed by the fact that you felt throughout your life growing up that there was any time that you felt like there was a situation where you should try to be able to fit in, every time it was like there was a blockade that you couldn't get through to being able to fit in. And you cope, it sounds as though your coping mechanism, and I can empathize with this, is that you felt as though you'd rather be a goofball and make people laugh and kind of make yourself fit into every situation in that sense. And I think that's a great way to kind of cope through it. But how did that make you feel throughout life, and ultimately getting to the point where you felt like yourself, owning who you are as a human being? Because it sounds like the world for the longest time was telling you how you should be. And every single time you tried to be that, somebody else told you that was wrong, right? And so you had to learn what was the way for you to decide that I'm okay with myself being who I am and forgetting about everyone else and their opinions.
Honestly, like college, when I went to community college, that's where I found my true self, like of who I really am. My art already brought the true self out of me. But when I was in college, I felt like I could open my wings and be who I am without any people like restraining, because I was very independent. And when I lost the people in my high school, I felt free because they were really putting me into like a box of I need to be this way. I need to act this way. I'm being this too much of this. You need to be like this. I really didn't think, like, I didn't feel like myself the whole time. I was trying to play around with others and being like a joke and being the class clown. I mean, I always love to be funny and stuff, but not when I'm in pain. So I just, when I come home from school, I just go to art because art is a way for me to like feel free, non-judgment. And I was the happiest ever since I was a child. And I still do it to this day. And yeah, so college really helped me open myself up. And actually, college really helped me open my ideas. They were accepted with my ideas because when I was in high school, it was always the popular people getting their ideas accepted. So I never felt confident with my ideas. I never did. I felt like, no, my ideas are not good enough. I don't think my paintings will go anywhere in life. I think, no, I don't know if I want to express my painting. So during that time, I had my paintings all hidden. I didn't want anybody to see it. I didn't want anybody um, to say anything because I was afraid I was going to get judged and criticized of my work because it's not like realistic. It's not like one of those famous type of artist type of style. I was always different with my style. And I think knowing that my style is so different is that I'm a different person. So a lot of times when people, when they look at my art, a lot of them are like, why don't you do this? Why didn't you like they're trying to change things out of it? I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep it that way. That's how my style is. So I was always so nervous to express my ideas, but college really helped me open myself up, especially in the entrepreneur club. I never thought I was an entrepreneur, but until I went to that club, and it was so much better than a class. Like, let me tell you, even though I didn't take business classes, the entrepreneur club was so encouraging and so uplifting. I felt so like excited. And I think from that point on, I wanted to become someone. I wanted to become something. I felt like, you know what? My art has been teaching me a lot. It's been motivating me a lot. It's been teaching me about imperfections. And when I'm saying about imperfections, I'm saying that every mistake that I put on a painting, I don't throw the painting away. I go and work with that imperfection, with that mistake. And when I learn how to work with that mistake and perfection, I started to take that within myself. And when I started taking that with myself, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to embrace myself. I had a lot of acne in high school and college. And I was tired of putting makeup over it. Actually, when you put foundation over it, it makes it look like really bad and cakey. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to go natural. If people are going to look at it and be like, ew, we're humans. We're not going to always look like amazing, beautiful chick all the time. We have our moments. We may not sleep good enough. We may wake up late in a rush to go to work or school. We all have our struggles and we're not going to look perfect every day. So I felt that my art has taught me to accept that. And for me, accepting that, I am the most confident, most happiest woman out there. I feel great with my skin. I feel, I just feel amazing with myself. And it's just a shame to see these young girls feeling very insecure with themselves. And it made me feel like I need to do something about it. I need to express what I've learned in my paintings and share it out to the world. So in the year of 2017, I decided to call myself an abstract motivational artist. At first, let me tell you, at first I was scared to even say that name. I just say, oh yeah, I'm an abstract artist and a motivational speaker. Just say that. But I was like, no, I am a unique person. I need to express my uniqueness out to the world. So I decided just to go with it, just let people know. And a lot of people were questioning, ooh, I never heard of that. If you Google it, you'll just see all my stuff. Nobody has that name. Nobody. So I was like, you know what? This is gonna take me somewhere. This is gonna be, I'm gonna be famous with this name. So people ask, what is an abstract motivational artist? An abstract artist, I'm an abstract artist, where I create nationality and motivational paintings. And I'm a motivational speaker where I do a lot of speaking about how to work with yourself, how to accept your imperfection, and how to gain a positive, strong mindset when going through difficult times in life. So here's it's a in progress painting, but here's like a little painting that says abstract motivational artist. I created this because I wanted to give myself a reminder that this is who I am and to never give up and to continue striving and living this dream. So I just like, why not? And then from that point on, I wanted to create a brand. I was like, this is good. This is something great. I decided to call this brand Imperfection is Beautiful. This painting was made in the year 2017 when I first introduced myself as an abstract motivational artist and this brand. I was always an artist since I was a little girl, but I decided to come out and tell the world, here I am, this is who I am. You know, love it or hate it, but I'm still striving. I'm still making a whole different approach out this world because we need something fresh and new.
Oh, absolutely. And I just want to commend you on your success of being an abstract motivational speaker. I also want to commend you on finding your inner strength and knowing and stepping out on faith to be able to say, hey, I can go out and help other people. I mean, there's so many people out there now that there's a lot of pressure to be perfect. And with pressure to be perfect comes anxiety, comes depression, and that's how our society is coming. I'm perfectly imperfect, as well. I think I mentioned that earlier when we were talking. And I love how you mentioned, like, oh, if there's a flaw on one of your paintings, you learn to work around that. And I'm sitting here thinking that is so what life is, because we can get up every morning and have a plan. I got an 8 o'clock meeting, 9 o'clock meeting, 10, whatever it may be. I'm going to take the kids here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And within 1 second, it all could be shaken upside down. And some people will let it ruin their whole day. But what you've done is like, this isn't a mistake, because I think things happen for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. We're all brought together for a reason. But you take what you have and you move on with it and you work with what you have. I call it loose hands. You can have a schedule, but you have to have loose hands to be able to change that. And and I think as a society, we have to stop putting a lot of pressure on children. Let kids be kids, and I'm talking in the sports arena. I'm talking about theater. Dad was a great football player, so my son's gonna have to be a great football player. Mom was a cheerleader, so our daughter's got to be a cheerleader. Kids should be able to express themselves any way they can, but when you start putting that extra pressure on them. There comes that silent mental health problem. And we don't realize it because you're putting so much pressure on it. So, what you're doing now is you're working with youth, correct? And to show them and explain, and I won't go into it, but I'll let you explain it because you can explain it better to me. I'm not an abstract motivational speaker, so you can explain it.
Yes. So I want to first kind of like speak about more about my paintings, because this will give you a better understanding of why I paint what I paint and why I focus on this specific style. Then I'll speak about the what I be providing in my services. So with my paintings, I like to focus a lot about nationalities based because of what I've been going through my whole life is discrimination, because my skin color, my hair, my eyes, or anything. I am trying to teach people that in this world, we're not meant to hate each other. We're not meant to bash each other. We're not meant to be better than one another. We as human beings have so much talent and so much education of who we are, and it's meant to spread out to others. We're meant to learn from each other. We're meant to work with each other. We're not meant to just constantly bashing, because we're not going anywhere. We all got our different beliefs. We all got our different places that we have been in and situations, but we need to understand and gain knowledge of the different religion, of the different like nationalities, cultures, um, traditions, all these beautiful things that makes us human. And I love this, and I've always loved learning from other people about their nationality. I mean, some of them look at me funny because it's not what we talk. We don't speak about this. We don't speak about, hey, where you're from, what's your nationality, where's your parents from, because I don't know, I think it's just some topic that we're just maybe not comfortable in talking about, because there's so much hatred in the world, and it's continually seeing it through social media. I like to just express this and let these people know that we're here together, we're meant to work together, and it will make an impact in the community and to the world, because my paintings are meant to be for the people. I focus for the people. I don't really focus on the fame, because when you're focusing on the fame, you're not really realizing that there's the purpose. You're losing the purpose from your work. For me as an artist, I really focus on what's going on in the world. What kind of awareness should I bring? Like for example, I painted the painting, Nosotros somos fuertes, and a Puerto Rican flag. And the reason why I chose a Puerto Rican flag, because Puerto Rico has been going through a lot of hurricanes. Throughout the year, I forgot what specific year, but they have gone through so much, and they're still recovering. There's some places that they're still recovering. So I wanted to spread awareness and saying that we are strong, and not just Puerto Rico, but all the Spanish countries, all the different other countries. We are strong here together. And not only I create nationality paintings, but I also create paintings that have quotes, that has positive images. Right here, it says the pain will end soon. And then here it says, what you seek is seeking you. The reason why I do these type of paintings as well is because my paintings are meant to give you a reminder to not give up, to continue, to keep fighting your battles, to not lose yourself, to keep believing yourself, because you are meant to be here on earth. You have a purpose to be here, and you have a story to speak about to help others to fight their battles too. So I really do believe my art can make a huge difference in someone's life. And it has been doing that. It's really been doing that. So going to the service that I provide, workshops. I provide workshops out in my community. And these workshops, which is very unique as always, these workshops consist motivation and art. So motivational speaking and art activities. And each workshop has a specific topic. And with that specific topic or theme that we focus on, that motivational speech and that art activity will correlate, will all go together. So when I do a speech, I first do a speech, a motivational speech of anything. And then once I finish that speech, they will work on that painting or on that activity. And the reason why I decided to do motivation and art together is because I found that art has given me motivation. Art has given me a voice that I never thought I had because of my ability to speak and my writing. But you know what? I didn't let my mistakes stop me. I looked through my mistakes and I knew that I had this potential. When I keep going and practicing, I keep fighting through. And look at this. I got a brochure of everything. I have motivational documents that I create. And look at, I struggle a lot in the past. And it's so remarkable to see people's reaction and just seeing them like really appreciating my workshops and really loving what I'm providing in the community. And I also want them to really work on their senses. So when they're listening my speeches, when they are looking at their pieces, and when they are feeling the art materials, those are the senses. And it's important to really gain those senses because you're gaining that self-awareness. And a lot of my workshops are really all about working within. So when you're gaining those senses, you're working within, you're figuring out what do you need to work on with yourself. You really think for yourself in these workshops. And that's why I'm really working hard on continuing providing and letting people know like my workshops are very beneficial for the community. And at this moment, it's a little bit hard with the COVID situation, but I know once it's over, it will go crazy up. It will go amazing. And I do want to say that with all these workshops that I'm creating and everything, I am currently working on my certificate to become a professional life coach. And I believe that this will benefit myself as a speaker and to create these workshops. But as well, I do want to create private sessions for anybody who wants to work on one-on-one. And basically what a life coach does is that they help really work on that person's goals, work on what they really need, what they need to do in their life, kind of giving them that direction, guiding them to that direction. So that's what I felt like this would be the best for me and for what I provide for the community.
I have so much to say. I've been like trying to like hold it back the whole time. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I just first off want to say, I mean, that's the idea, the concept, everything is just so absolutely amazing. It brings me back to some of the things we were talking about earlier. And I think this was off camera when we talked about, art therapy and everything. I love that in a way you found your own way to make it all happen. It's not just this like, this is the only path that you can go to make this happen. You're like, no, I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to take this piece, and I'm going to make this happen. So you absolutely did it. So that number one is just amazing. When you talk about the fact that your art and the classes that you're doing and then doing this motivational speech is something so different than I've ever heard in my life. There's like, I know there's locations like Painting with a Twist, and you go in and you do your art classes. All so much fun. I enjoy it. I love art. And let me just say about painting in general, of any type of art project, I think the most fun is painting, because as you said, mistakes that you make, you can work with it. You can paint over it. You can do whatever you want. You can build on top of it and make it whatever creation. And I'm preaching to the choir here. You know better than I do. But with that, your classes, and when people do classes, I feel like you go in, you paint, And I'm like, it's all pretty and everything when you have your art piece. But what I always want when I'm looking at either getting something for my home or doing some sort of project is feeling that motivation or that why or purpose. And I think in what you're doing is you're instilling that purpose, that motivation, and just that feeling or whatever that it needs to be, the encouragement that the artist that does and makes those pieces and they take it home, there's almost a sense of feeling, or it helps to continue on that process after your class. And so it's something that I think is so unique. It's something I've never heard of in my life before, but I just really love it. And I think this is why, as you said, it's being unique, being yourself, and making it happen for the future. And I think you're going to impact so many lives already today in what you're doing, but I can only imagine as we continue forward what we're going to hear and see you do.
And I also want to mention too is that the therapeutic aspect of it. Somebody could be having a bad day, or going through something, and they can just go and just, these trash rooms and classrooms, and but you can let your energy out in a painting, and it's what you're feeling. It's like you said, it's not what everybody else sees. It's what you're feeling, that you're able to release that anger or pain, or whatever you're going through. The mental health aspect of it is, it's not even measurable how it impacts people. I don't think you can actually measure it. And I think everybody who walks out of one of your sessions, um, has probably felt the weight of the world lifted off their shoulders to some degree, to where they've let go of anger, where they've found an outlet, or taking it home. If you bottle things up too long, we all know they explode. And yes, and we don't want that. Like you talked about mental health, we talked about anxiety, we talked about bullying, we talked about suicide. um, you know and a lot of people are carrying invisible backpacks, and we talk about perfection. And you're saying, hey, it's okay to be perfectly imperfect. you know and that is what is absolutely amazing. And I know that you have your own shop where people can actually purchase. What's the name of your shop that we can share with everybody?
So it is called Imperfection is Beautiful. It is at Uniquely Lopez. So this store has all these different beautiful works of art of other artists around the community. And it's at South Mall in Emmaus. So I really appreciate the owners. They're there all the time, encouraging people and like letting people to check out the community artists out there. And I call it my little store because it's in a little room. Go in, you see the clothes, you see like the merchandise items, and Valentine's Day is coming, so I made Valentine's Day baskets. Super cute, very unique. My merchandise, everything I create is coming from my heart. So yeah.
I've actually checked out the store, and some of the paintings are, they're unique, and everybody's got a different abstract eye. When I looked at some of them, I was like, hmm, well, I would love to know the backstory, on that. But you look at Van Gogh and Picasso and all those guys, the backstories on what they painted and so forth like that. There's there. So I really want to drive people to your website to take a look at your stuff, because, folks, what Lisa is doing is, one, original, two, unique, three, off the charts. I mean, I commend you, and I know you're working with youth, and you've overcome so many battles, and then you're just making a whole difference. I'm not going to say the world. I want to say the universe, because the universe is our playground. And I know it's Saturday and you're extremely busy, But I want to say thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to share this remarkable story with our listeners, our followers. Folks, if you want to check this out, we'll make sure we have all the information in there. Reach out to Lisa. I'm sure you can do one-on-ones through Zoom, however it may be. Uh, not, and you mentioned that you want to be a life coach. I'm going to say that you already are a life coach. Um,
Thank you.
so you
I'm
already
already doing it. I'm
you're,
already doing it
you're already doing it. So you're not, not
without the certificate.
you know what? That's just a piece of paper on the wall.
Exactly.
It's really, so what you're doing is you're already changing lives. You've impacted our lives already, just from your story. And I know a lot of people are going to take a lot away from this. I know that I have. My life has been enriched just in our several encounters. And I look forward to watching you continuously grow, and make a difference in the world, and bringing kindness and different ethnic groups together. And we need more people like Lisa, the abstract motivational uh, artist in the world. And with that being said, I know you're busy, but thank you wholeheartedly for being here with us on Saturday Morning Coffee.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.